The first hint that I got that I might be an artist came quite by accident. I was 26 and I came to Central to study geography. And I met a young man, isn't there always a young man in the picture? So he took me up to the art department and he walked me through the building. Went in and looked at all the art, and then he said, "There, don't you think you can at least do that good?" Yeah, because he'd showed me all his beginning work, and I said, "Well, sure." Well, I was wrong. And I'll have to show you my first drawing class. I was doing stick figures. And I had turned in my drawings this one day, and I was walking down the hallway, and I heard Margaret Salstrand's voice floating out of her office, and she said, "Well, Jane turned in her drawings today." Poor Jane. And I thought, oh, poor Margaret, she has to put up with this. But I had already somehow just taken to myself this belief that art was what was going to fill my life, and I just dropped. I was a senior in geography. I just dropped it like a stone and went over here and started doing art. And I was convinced, and I haven't wavered since. Even though I didn't have that raw talent that, say, my husband Dick Elliott had, I had this unwavering faith that this was how I was going to be a person. When I started, I knew that I wasn't anywhere near the skill level of everyone around me. But the key thing was all the faculty, including poor Margaret, treated me as though I were an artist. And so that sort of acceptance as a creative person, even when I didn't have the facility for it, was amazing. When I first began making art, I was trying to connect to some inner spiritual side of myself. And I could do magic markers, but when I tried to translate it into paint, I didn't have the facility for it. So I began painting interiors, things that I could see. I look at my home and I could paint the table and chairs and the walls and the doorways, and then I could look at the painting, look at the scene and say, yeah, I did that. And it was kind of how I taught myself to paint, by painting what I was looking at. But there was something else going on there too, because the interior paintings were part of my nesting process when Dick Elliott and I got married, and creating a home and creating a safety, a sense of these are peaceful scenes, and when I come home, the furniture is going to be where I left it. Because I think, having grown up in a violent childhood, this was kind of like grounding for me. I was creating a safe place, and painting it just made it deeper in me. And when I look at them, they have a place in my heart, like all of those paintings come together and create that place of safety and comfort and love. So they were very important beginning work for me. From there, that was about 10 years worth of work. And that next 10 years, I was painting more of a spiritual kind of, I think, dealing, and they were sexual, sensual, and I think I was putting that sort of sexual world into a spiritual context. And it was off among the stars somewhere. And that work was really fun, but it kind of came to an end. I had a creative block, and it was 3 years where I was pretty much smoking cigarettes, playing solitaire, and reading 2 books a day, and just, disappearing within myself. And my mother died in a plane crash, and so that led me to say, okay, I gotta do something. I can't waste my life this way. And started therapy. And so the next 10 years, I did art that really related to my life experience, and specifically as a child in a violent household, alcoholic household. There was sexual abuse within the family, but also because of lack of anyone paying attention, there were things outside the family. So it was really kind of a horrible first 14 years of my life. And so I put it all into paint. And I'm gonna show you something here, and into a book. And and I ended up painting all of the paintings in the book, and it's about family, my family, and I wrote it, I painted it, there's my dreams in it, and trying to put it all together to find the meaning and to transcend it. And it worked. I ended up going from this creative block to painting 360 some paintings dealing with this, and exhibited the work, of course did the book, exhibited the work, probably had 5 or 6 solo shows a year with this work for about 8 years, and then published the book, and then just felt released from that and started doing the work that I'm doing now, so for like the last 10 years. And it's back to that spiritual quest. But most of the sexuality has gone out of it because it's been dealt with. It's been dealt with in the sense of taking all the things that I was hiding and just bringing them out and saying, there they are, and gaining strength from them instead of having them be hidden and festering. So for me, art has been everything. It's been safe, it's been reckless, it's been, and it's, all of those phases are really important to me. There's not one that I say, oh, that's what I did that's really important. And I hope that my most exciting work is ahead of me. You know, it's always where we want to be.